So as a fragrance fanatic with hundreds of bottles in his collection, the idea of owning only one fragrance, it sort of terrifies me. But seriously, I like variety. However, I know a lot of guys out there are just getting started and are wondering if I had to choose one fragrance, which one would I suggest for them? Well, first up, I would avoid fragrances that are too loud. Fragrances that kind of get into people's faces can be overpowering, especially when you overspray. Yeah, fragrances that contain tobacco or animalistic notes can come off as off-putting to a lot of individuals, especially in a closed space. Seriously, I got thrown out of a car once wearing this one. Next up, avoid fragrances that are overly sweet. These can work great as date fragrances, but if you're only going to own one, they're not as versatile. Yeah, you want to be careful of the fragrances heavy in ambroxan. It can be overpowering and choke people out. So then, what to look for in a fragrance that's going to be your one and only? For me, the first thing is versatility. As such, my first pick for a guy looking for one fragrance that can do it all would be Chanel's Bleu de Chanel. Released in 2010, this fragrance is considered a modern masterpiece, incredibly versatile, incredibly elegant. It's suitable for any occasion and gets a man compliments. Now, you are going to see some variations out there. They're usually a little bit more expensive. You got the Eau de Parfum and the Parfum. I think they're beautiful. They're a bit smoother. They don't project as much. And for that reason, I would choose the EDT because I think you get a little bit more bang for your buck. And it is the GOAT. It's the original. It is the fragrance that kicked off the entire blue craze. And in case you don't know what a blue fragrance is, it's mass appealing. It is fresh. It's aromatic. Some of them have a little bit of an aquatic scent to them. I like to think any fragrance in this category can be worn to the office. You can wear it out on a date. They are, again, incredibly versatile fragrances that can do everything. Now, the next detail I'd look for in a fragrance that would be my one and only is quality over hype. So let's go back about 15 years ago. Tom Ford put out Grey Vetiver. There's a Parfum version a little bit stronger out there that was released a few years ago. But in my opinion, the original is a masculine, refined, classy fragrance that, as a guy, if you want something that's a bit more masculine, still understated, elegant, something that you can wear to the office, and very few guys are pulling off in 2025, guys, look to a classic vetiver scent with a nice base of woods. Now, as the name implies, vetiver is the main note. But when you go look at the note breakout, you're going to see this is actually a little bit of a complicated fragrance because I know on my skin, I definitely pick up the salt. I pick up the moss. It's got a cool woody feel. I love it because it is so easy to wear. It's a no-brainer fragrance that you can just throw on. And despite being overall very soft, it is a long-lasting fragrance. I usually can pick this fragrance up 6 to 8 hours later. Now, really quick, gents, I want to thank today's sponsor, Jada, for making this video possible. Now, if you haven't heard of Jada, they're a Swiss fragrance brand making a splash with a variety of different fragrances. The ones I have right here are their Ambassador Men, the Eau de Parfum. This is a cool masculine fragrance with nuanced oriental accents. It's lively, it's fresh, it's intense, and the note breakout, as you can see right here, gives this fragrance overall a fruity, tropical, sweet, woody, vanilla, warm, spicy, aromatic set of accords. I personally love this one because I think it's one of the most versatile in their collection. You can wear it at night, during the day. It's a 4-season fragrance, and it's got great performance. We're talking 12 plus hours. Well balanced and mass appealing, this is a sexy fragrance that's going to get you compliments. Next up, we've got Jada's Ambassador Intense. Compared to the original, this one's a bit spicier. It's also sweeter. In the accords you can see here, you've got the amber aromatic fresh spice with a bit of vanilla right there at the base, which makes sense when you look at the note breakout. Yes, this one is complex, but they do a great job of blending the notes. Masculine, dark, manly, yet still versatile. Then gents, you are going to love Jada's Ambassador Intense. But if you're looking for something a bit sweeter, something that's going to turn heads, something to wear when you're out on the town, well, guys, look no farther than Jada's Titanium. The accords here are going to be vanilla, warm spice with aromatic woods, powder, a bit of lavender with sweetness. Again, as I mentioned earlier, you don't want an overly sweet fragrance, and this one does a great job of balancing that. And when you look at the note breakout, it makes sense to having that cardamom right there at the top, and then with the sweet sandalwood right there in the middle, the vanilla and tonka bean at the base. But for me, it's that little bit of cinnamon that tones down the vanilla and makes this such a versatile fragrance. So gents, if you're looking for a set of unique fragrances that are going to set you apart from the crowd, go check out Jada. I'm linking to him down in the description of today's video with the best deal you're going to find on the web. Now, I apologize in advance for this next pick because I know for a lot of you guys, this one is going to be incredibly boring. Yet, I feel it's one of their better releases in the last few years. There are many flankers. The fragrance I'm talking about, Aquade DJ, first came out, 1996. This one right here, though, the Parfum, and I'm also going to recommend the EDP, a little bit harder to find, but the Parfum was in a sense, replacement for the Profumo, and I think it has been doing an excellent job. I love this one. It's a little bit darker than the EDT, and I feel the EDT, the original, you'll still find it out there. It's a bit dated. This one feels modern. It feels a little bit darker, richer, and is incredibly versatile, mass appealing. You are going to get compliments. I was just wearing this the other day. I had a person compliment me because it's got the classic Aquade DJ DNA. These fragrances are so easy to wear. Again, I'm referring to any of the flankers. I love all the Aquade DJs. I can't really think of one, except maybe the original EDT that really doesn't do anything for me, which is funny because it's still a classic. And this fragrance, in case you don't know, introduced a unique note, Cologne, I believe it was, by the master perfumer Alberto Marias. And yes, it really did set a new tone for the fragrance industry. But to this day, this one right here is just an easy grab, an easy pick. And yes, if I had to choose just one for a guy out there, and if he really likes aquatic scents, this would be the one I would choose for. Now, this next fragrance house doesn't get a whole lot of love, but I think they're one of the best ones out there when it comes to understated, elegant fragrances that are incredibly versatile and nobody seems to wear. And that is going to be the house of Hermes. Now, I am not going to put on this list H24. This one released a few years ago. I really love the metal note in this one. It just reminds me of being on the gun range. I think I could have easily put this on the list, but no, I'm going to grab the original right here, Terre d'Hermes. This one redefined all the fragrances in the house. Released in 2006 by the master perfumer Jean-Claude Elena. This one right here, there's just something about it. Again, very understated. A lot of guys smell it. They don't think too much of it, but it's just got this timeless appeal that every time you put it on, you just feel good. You feel a little bit fresher. And for some reason, it draws the ladies in. This is an understated chick magnet. Yeah, I just said that, but seriously, this thing gets compliments without even trying. I find that, this one is a secret weapon. And because it's been out for a while, you can find it at some discounters out there. Really just a solid fragrance. Highly recommended. So for this next house, let's go over to the house of Burberry. This house doesn't get a whole lot of respect, and probably because a lot of their fragrances, I mean, they're good, they're just not great. Although Burberry Touch, I still think is absolutely beautiful, incredibly versatile, and I would have put it on this list. However, I got to give props to the Hero line. I do feel they're coming out in full force. There's like 4 of them now, but gosh, I think that the EDT, Eau de Parfum, the Parfum, all of these are masculine, easy to wear, woody, fresh fragrances that just are so simple, classic. I absolutely love them, especially in a world where all the fragrances they're putting out, they're really more sweet or more unisex. This right here feels still masculine, yet this would be a great gift if you wanted to give it to somebody. And let's face it, when you give a fragrance as a gift to somebody, usually this is a person that doesn't have a whole lot of fragrances, so it may be the only one they ever wear. And if you gave them, Burberry Hero EDP, I would think that that is a solid choice for their one go-to fragrance. Now, this next house, over the last 20 years, I think they've only released 6 fragrances for men, and every single one of them I enjoy, I like. And if I were recommending you grab one from the house of Coach, it would probably be either the classic Coach for Men or their new Eau de Parfum. Now, the difference is going to be slight. The Eau de Parfum, in my opinion, a little bit darker, richer, sexier. Overall, I think it's well blended. It actually gives me some Bleu de Chanel vibes. Some people say Sauvage Elixir. I can see where they're going with that, but no, it doesn't feel that polarizing. What I love about this one, again, is it's stronger, a little bit heavier than the original, especially for those guys looking for a little bit more staying power. Well, this is the one they're going to want to pick up. Now, this next pick, a little bit harder for me. This Italian house, I think, has some of the best deals out there in terms of longevity, just mass appealing fragrances that could easily be your one pick. If you want something for the office, or if you want something that you're going to be wearing out in warm weather, summer fragrance that is just going to get you compliments. But the fragrance I ended up choosing from the house of Dolce Gabbana is the one. The original released in 2008, or if you can find the Parfum version, released in 2015. Either one of these are going to be one of the most beautiful, dark, rich, amber fragrances that still are incredibly versatile. And that's going to be because of the aromatic, fresh, pleasing notes that are also mixed in with this fragrance. I think this is one of those fragrances that's an absolute masterpiece, and you can find it at an amazing deal if you just look around. Now, the reason I didn't put this earlier in the video is this fragrance, well, I can see in extremely hot summer, maybe it wouldn't really be the most versatile fragrance then, but I would just go with Dolce & Gabbana's Light Blue. But yeah, with the note breakout, it's such an interesting fragrance. You got that grapefruit, cardamom, amber, tobacco with the cedar. A solid, long-lasting fragrance that helps any man smell like a man. Now, if you're watching this video and you're like, Antonio, none of these fragrances really connect with me. I'm a guy that I get dressed up. I want to look good. I want something that's light, clean, non-offensive, still is going to be a distinctive scent. Guys, look no further than Prada L'Homme. Released in 2016, this fragrance is the epitome of class. There have been a few flankers, but nothing touches the original. It's powdery with a bit of iris, violet, woods, fresh, spicy, aromatic, with a touch of earth. This is the versatile fragrance for the elegant man that just wants to smell good anywhere he goes and is comfortable in his masculinity. Because I got to be honest, the first time I smelled this fragrance, I felt it was a little bit floral, a little bit girly. But the more I wore it, the more I realized this fragrance is incredible. A masterpiece with great longevity, projection, and a dominating iris note that gives it its unique scent profile. But let's say you want something a little bit less floral, something that's more woodsy, something that's maybe more masculine, still has that iris note, but also has a touch of whiskey. Well, gentlemen, the fragrance you want to make your one and only is going to be Givenchy's Gentleman Reserve Privé. Compared to Prada's L'Homme, this one is going to be darker, richer. It's also going to be sweeter. And again, with that whiskey note, this one for a lot of guys, when they put it on, it's just going to make them salivate. Potent, long-lasting. The only issue I've got with this fragrance being your one and only is it's not really a day wear or hot weather fragrance, but I guess you could pull it off if you really love it. But no, going full circle here, back to versatility, let's bring in Yves Saint Laurent's Why the Eau de Parfum. Now, released in 2018, I feel like this fragrance has been out even longer because the house of Yves Saint Laurent released, I don't know, they released like 10 Y flankers, or at least it seems like it. However, the Eau de Parfum continues to be one of their best sellers because it is such a great smelling scent that's incredibly versatile. It's strong, it's long lasting, and it definitely has that modern DNA, which is going to be a little bit more unisex, but guys, a lot of all of them in the Y line, it's probably one of the ones that leans the most masculine. And it's probably because of that base of amberwood, tonka bean, cedar, vetiver, and albanum. Yet with all that richness, it's still balanced out by a really nice middle. And that top that starts it all with bergamot and the apple, I find absolutely delicious. So what'd you think, guys? What did I leave off? What would you have added to this list? Let me know in the comments below. If you want to keep watching, guys, I got you covered here with another fragrance video. If you enjoy my fragrance videos, let me know in the comments below, or just keep watching and enjoying learning more about fragrances here at Real Men Real Style. Boom, right here.